as morning dew glaze across cracked bottles and torn plastic and uncultivated soil, and a crammed space rumbles in appetite deep inside Section 8 housing beneath a rusted ceiling where iron tears in a quivering pit bellows off the cliff notes to God. Here lies a brown boy who awakes to a moldy frost setting into his bones. The third morning this week he struggled to climb out from his weeping puddle, searched through rubble for water ground to plant his weary feet, pieces of watching his best friend head explode in front of him. The thought, the sight was mind-blowing to say the least, don't you think? With scrawny shoulders and sinking faith, this brown boy carries 17 caskets and unfinished homework on his back as he drags himself through a thick cloud of purple smoke to stagger down a condemned pathway to the end of your classroom, cuffed in a black hooded sweatshirt made obituary. There in the corner is where he folds, crumble at each tick of that clock, knowing that in here or out there on that block he is a waste. And the living usually forgets about the dead. And that's why these teachers don't see us. If metallic lock and slave ships is the only things planned in your lessons, then how can you free us, huh? How can you reach us with a firm grip if your hands are full from holding on to Eurocentric lectures? Treat us absent when you don't feel connected to our presence. Can't call on raised hands of ghosts, so we float. Hallway glide to Donte at locker room gatherings for a post. We host school grounds as purgatory. Pretend that diploma will exempt us from a white man's gun. Street sweep this poverty and teach us back our native tongue. Like really though. Like really know the people you're supposed to be serving. Or is it that you do know and you are afraid of our awakening? Well, either way, I am that brown boy. Each day, someone like me enters your classroom. Outside of school hours is a prison cell and an early grave being carved and dug to stack profit when brown bodies decay. I don't need your sympathy, because your sorries is not going to save me. Chest tighten. I feel a shortage in my breath, stressing I'm fighting time just to blink away from death. Pressures I'm writing rhymes till it lead us to a check or resort to a life of crime, because y'all view me as a threat. Oh Lord, let me guess. There's a lesson in the struggle. Muscle my train of thought, because the failure mind is soft. Knees bent, clenched fists, submit to this righteous talk. Keep seeking not to be lost, but I'm feeling them shots go off. Oh Lord, is it worth it? Is it worth it? How could I value life when I feel there is no purpose? I'm feeling like a clown, just a puppet in the circus. Want to let my feelings out, but I'm afraid for them to surface. Can I vent? Can I vent? All of my money spent. Gotta eat, where to sleep, gas, car note in the rent. Not a coin, not a cent from a stack of presidents who patch a field this hole in my heart from resent that I have toward them others that snatched away my brothers. Got them smacked before that. I ain't get to tell them I love them. All of these RIPs, free my G's from this government. Slice me a piece of mind, I'll be fine. Hearing nothing, let me free, let me free. Let the past stay behind. I feel the cripples of the ghetto all depending on my spine. For the wretches of the earth looking forward to my climb. But my dreams all depends on the trigger of his knife. It's probably not hard living. I could imagine what that's like, but my plight just existing. Holes open my souls, and these tennies I've traveled many. The devil come with your Benjis, may the Lord bless these pennies. Let me breathe, let me breathe. Don't want to live a life that this world project on me, no. Let me breathe, let me breathe. Don't nobody value breathing till God asks him to leave. There's blood on our hands. For those of us who can't see past our first 2 decades and 1+ year, whose hearts are blunt wrapped in grape swishes, sweets laced with gunpowder, thoughts that move to the baseline pattern of 100-round drums, deep center rib cage disguised a furnace where I'm from, breathing black smoke and hanging corpses, how we get through the fires, swallowing pride fewer times than vodka bottles and pizza rock. My peoples take shots back to back to back and then to the backs of blacks until most of our lives are wasted. Do you see the connection? And it bothers me that we can't see past the weeping of liquid tears and gnashing of teeth to imagine the flutter of grace with golden streets beneath splintered feet. This is faith, to believe that the wings on your dreams are made for soaring. With the blow of wind from God's lips, we'll be placed higher than sunrise. But you see, we're sunset on chasing shadows, ligaments folded from thrust of metal slipping beneath pavement cracks. Have you ever heard the sound of 12 gauges cracking through blue sky? Because I know people who shoot Clenched triggers with callous hands, turning soil-skinned men into sinkhole. I live amongst the wounded, scattered across the streets like loose chains. I've seen movements lose change by the fingertips. Barrel lips spit kisses of death from them boys in blue that look just like you, yes you. Don't shoot, don't shoot. With brute force or by sport, there is a tug of war for the right to claim my life day and night. I fight against my own kind and it be my own mind too. Yes, there are too many guns in the hands of those with the intent to kill. And these people can't always be registered. But these guns, I'd rather see them melted into handshakes. I'm praying that one day this will be real. I'm pushing for all of us to put down our weapons, remove Smith & Wesson from our thought, and maybe our raw talent will rise. Let me breathe, let me breathe. I don't want to live this life that this world project on me, nah. Let me breathe, let me breathe. Don't nobody value breathing till God ask him to leave.